This section is going to give you detail on how to start forming your building block stack. As I don't know anything about your game, this is going to be very general, but it should give you an understanding of the questions that you need to answer early on. I'm going to go through the first blocks that I put down in the last video, starting with engine choice. You'll either use an off-the-shelf one or write something custom. Both approaches have pros and cons, but let's say you think you want to use Unreal. Let's place that down for now and look at your lead platform. You love your Steam Deck, but its sales numbers are vague. You'll either need a very small budget or a high attach rate to make a profit. But handheld PCs are all the rage right now, and The Witcher 3 can look and run great. Switch 2 looks decent, and will eventually no doubt end up with a very big market. Therefore, you decide that handheld should be your lead platform, and lock in that decision. Does this influence your decision to use Unreal? Let's do a quick test. My PC is decent, without being ridiculous, and runs the animation sample from Epic at around 100 frames a second out of the box. But building and running this on Steam Deck gets around 30 frames a second. This project can be made to run better just by tinkering rendering settings, and I know this isn't a completely fair comparison, but the Universal 3D demo from Unity runs at 60 frames a second, with GPU to spare and no tinkering. Whatever engine you end up choosing, your lead platform will determine the decisions on the art pipeline and budgets right at the start, which might sound restrictive, but tightly defined limits can actually lead your team to innovate and defy expectations. And solid art direction with efficiently made assets will always stand the test of time. You're confident that your art team can pull it off, and you lock in that decision. You've now got 3 blocks in place, so let's get those written up. We've got engine, lead platform, and art style. Hopefully, you're starting to see how this process works now. If you were making a game for mobile, then the engine decision might be different. Those extra seconds an Unreal game takes to boot up are generally seen as a negative to somebody on a phone. But the final bit on engine choice right now is knowing which version you're going to lock at, because the risk of continually updating your game to the latest version is incredibly high, as it's entirely possible to find yourself sprinting to stand still. To close this video, there's one more important block to go through, for a very obvious reason. Games are a product, and therefore need to make money. So, very early on, you have to answer, what is your revenue model? It's not an easy decision to make, but it links tightly to your game loops, how you set up in-game items, inventory systems, and progression. Most of all, it's very closely tied to platform. Player expectation on mobile is probably for free to play. Console, more likely premium. If you're making a Fortnite competitor, don't expect to be able to charge $40 for players to try it out. But a Civilization-style strategy game on PC, those players are more willing to spend up front. Don't expect to get your foundational layers right first time. Just know that the higher your stack goes, the more costly a change lower down becomes. So take your time in these early stages of development and make sure you explain your reasoning behind each decision so that anybody that joins the team in the future can understand why you made them.